YouTube, what's good? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another video from Fantasy Good Sports. And today's video, guys, are going to be my top 10 players to trade for. Yes, I said it. My top 10 players that you should trade for. Now, you don't have to, but if you got some of these guys on your roster, well, if you want some of these guys and you have guys that's on your bench that you can package to get one of these guys to make your team better, then you do it, guys. And I'm going to break their games down, like what they did in the past and their trends. That way you know what's going forward and why you can get them kind of like a buy low. Most of these guys are buy low guys. I don't got guys that you have to give your bet like three great guys to get. Like, I'm not talking about Alvin Kamara and stuff like that. So I'm talking about guys that you can get that people don't know that may be trending. So guys, let's just get started. And as you see at the top, guys, I got it. I got my videos and my these guys that I'm talking about. I got them rolling. So I'm just gonna let y'all be able to see these guys. That give y'all a little bit better visual while I talk about them. So they just gonna keep rolling, and I'm not gonna worry about that. So guys, let's go ahead and get started, guys. And my first guy that y'all should be able to trade for, guys, is DAndre Swift. Yes, I said it, DAndre Swift. And the reason why I think you should be able to trade for DAndre Swift, because guys, his potential is probably one of the best of all backs in the league. Now, they're not using him as a bell cow in Detroit because of Adrian Peterson and also Kenyan Johnson. But, guys, this is his 4-game trend. He had 29 points, 14 points, 5 points, and 12 points. So the last 2 games has been 5 and 12. That doesn't scare me. So, guys, if I got a back, I don't know, a back that's been struggling, and he's not a PPR back, he's just mostly like a running back or a streamer per week, and I'm just happen to use him, then trade for DAndre Swift. Guys, going into week 12 and 13, this guy's going to have a decent schedule, and this guy's going to get work, guys. There you go, right there. I'm sorry, other way, right there, guys. So, guys, take him. I love his upside in the passing game. That's why he's the best back of all those backs, because in the passing game, he's the only passing game back. So, as Matthew Stafford gets back in this offense and gets more acclimated with everything after he had to, miss practice from COVID, DAndre Swift's going to get going again, guys. So don't be scared of taking DAndre Swift and making a trade for him. Okay, so let's get on, guys, to my next guy. My next guy, guys, I've been talking to y'all about him, and his name is J.K. Dobbins. Now, I only got a 2-game trend for him because he hasn't got a lot of playing time. And I know Mark Ingram is back, but I don't care. So I'm not gonna trade for him and necessarily I need a starting back. But if I'm just trying to get ready for the playoff and I got a bench spot and I got some players that are pretty decent on the bench and I can trade for J.K. Dobbins, you do it. Because I'm pretty sure the owner will do it, guys, because he hasn't had a boom game. So I'm telling you these players before they had a boom game. So J.K. Dobbins, I love J.K. Dobbins mostly because of talent. And remember, I said he's in the pass game. They're not going to use Mark Ingram like that in the pass game. They're not going to use Gus Edwards like that in the pass game. They're going to use J.K. Dobbins, guys. So J.K. Dobbins is the guy to target as far as in the playoffs for week 12 and on. He's the guy that has a lot of upside. So you can have him already stashed without having to spend a bunch of fab at the end of the year. Especially for guys that like to say they fab for like 1 or 2 players. Then it's hard to beat that. But if you go ahead and stash him now before that player's knows, then he's just going to waste his money. So don't try to bid against those guys to try to save all their fab for 1 player at the end of the year. So let's get on to my next guy. And this is another running back, guys. And this is Kenyan Drake from Arizona Cardinals. And Kenyan Drake, from his last week that he was healthy, from that 3-game trend, it was 15, 35, and 5. And the 5 was the game that he got hurt. But guys, he's coming back, and he had a pretty good game before he went out. So, guys, I would go ahead and trade for Kenyan Drake, and you can get him for low now, for a little bit of nothing. So go ahead and go get Kenyan Drake, because you might say, well, Terry, he might not hit. Well, guys, he's the starting back. Chase Edmonds didn't do nothing to say, well, we got to sit Kenyan Drake. So even like far as the red zone, getting the touchdowns in the red zone and the green zone, Kenyan Drake is that man if he's healthy. And they talking about him practicing and stuff this week. So guys, go ahead and trade for Kenyan Drake. You ain't got to trade a great player for him, but somebody on your bench that's had some good weeks and people like, oh yeah, he's trending. and you can get Kenyan Drake and have you a bell cow going into the playoffs. Remember, we thinking playoffs right now. So let's get on to it, guys. And this next guy is a wide receiver. And I love him, guys. And this is Marquise Brown from the Baltimore Ravens, a receiver. His last 4 games has been 19, which was really good, and then 9, 7, and 8. Now, the reason why I'm telling you to target Marquise Brown, Lamar Jackson is going to get going, and big plays are going to start happening in this offense because Lamar is ready to take over with his feet. So, Hollywood Brown, you want to have him when he boom, guys. So he's a great flex play if you go and trade for him right now. I mean, you could. It's not going to take much. I don't know what you got on your team, but it's not going to take much to get him if you are trying to get ready for the playoffs, which is a big boomer. Marquise Brown could go for 35, 40 points. He could go for 250, 60-yard touchdowns. He's going to always have the box and the look to do that because you playing with the best run team in the NFL, so he always going to have a one-on-one coverage on the outside. So this is a guy that I love. Don't think that all his games going to go like 9, 7, and 8. It's been going that way, but that's why you go ahead and get him because for the playoffs, Lamar Jackson got a good schedule. Marquise Brown could have 3 30-point games in a row. So I just want to let y'all know that. So let's get on to my next guy. And this next guy is a heavy hitter, but he's had some down games, and it's Derrick Henry. And it's only one main reason that I'm telling you to trade for Derrick Henry. And the reason why I'm telling you to trade for Derrick Henry because his game trends, he had some bad matchups. But, guy, his playoff matchup is like a patty cake. I mean, it's the easiest probably schedule of all running backs, guys. So trade for Derrick Henry. If you have, even like if you had Miles Sanders, somebody like that, I would trade for Derrick Henry just for the playoffs. So if you got a strong team, don't think that Miles Sanders or somebody like that on his level is going to carry you with PPR with 20 to 23 points. That's good week. But you trying to get them running backs that's going to score 35, 40. So what you think that Derrick Henry's going to do week 12 to 13 with those matchups, those easy run matchups? He's going to beast. So I want Derrick Henry on my team for the playoffs. Remember, we talking playoffs and booming. Okay, so let's get on. My next guy is a quarterback, and you just seen him. It's Tom Brady. And the reason why I'm talking Tom Brady because of his play. Remember, it's the playoffs matchups from week 12 on forward. Guys, because he had 4 points last week doesn't scare me. This is Tom Brady. He ain't going to put no dud up in no playoffs. I know that for sure. I mean, well, even in the fantasy playoffs, he's not going to keep having bad games. Tom Brady going to go to work and do his homework. He's going to study. So this team is going to get better. I feel safe with Tom Brady than I do any quarterback because even though he might not have a big game, that is a safe floor, and his potential is all the way from 4 to 5 touchdowns. But he could have an easy 20 to 25 points, and that's okay at the quarterback position. But you want to have him. I think he's going to boom in the playoffs. So, guys, I like Tom Brady for as you trading for him if you don't have none of these elite quarterbacks. So, if all your elite quarterbacks is already taken, Tom Brady is a guy that can match with them, like a Herbert, a Kyler Murray, because he can throw for 4 touchdowns. So, guys, you're probably going to have a quarterback like that to win your leagues this year because of what Russell and Kyler and all those guys are doing. So let's move on, guys. And my next guy, and I mentioned him a little bit, is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has been scoring. So I'm going to give you his 4-game trend, guys. He's 19, 34, 20, and 20. That's not Lamar numbers. So you think those numbers going to stay like that? No. As the weeks go out and get better matchup, guys, because he had some tough weeks and played good teams and put up 20 points. He put up 20 points against Pittsburgh. So what you think he's going to do when week 12 come around? He's got a less matchup than that. So, guys, they got to play Pittsburgh again, but I love that matchup because you seen what Lamar did the first time, and he had turnovers. You think he's going to throw a pick 6 again? You think he's going to fumble again? No. So, guys, actually he had 2 picks. I'm sorry. He had 2 picks. I don't think he's going to have 2 picks again. So, guys, I love Lamar Jackson. So, you go trade for Lamar Jackson. It's not going to take much because people he's been playing bad. They don't think he's the elite quarterback anymore. So go ahead and try to make that trade for him. So, guys, my next guy is Brandon Cooks. And, guys, Brandon Cooks has been balling out for Houston. Let me give you his game trend. I think I have a 4-game trend for him and a great matchup that he beasted on. So he has 30, 21, 15, and 22. And, guys, those 15 points, he had that against Green Bay. Green Bay is a great pass defense. They probably top 5 in pass defense, guys, against good receivers. And Brandon Cooks put up 15. So he's seeing the number 2 corner with Will Fuller being the number 1. So I love that, guys. So go trade for Brandon Cooks. It shouldn't take much. I'd rather have Brandon Cooks than some of these high-level guys. So if I could trade like what's a high-level receiver, guys? Let me see here. Some of these, I'm gonna find a high-level receiver here that you might have on your team that you could trade for. Let me see here. So like, what is that matchup? Okay, I can't find it right now. Did have my receivers, but yes, okay, here you go right here. So like, guys, say if I got Allen Robinson, I might take Allen Robinson and be able to get 2 players for 1. So I can be able to get a Brandon Cooks and another starting player to trade a receiver that's not really kind of iffy. So I love Brandon Cooks going forward, guys. Yes, Houston does have a tough matchup in the playoffs, but he's the number 2 receiver. So he's not going to be seeing the pressure of a number 1 corner. He's seeing the number 2 corner. So when we down, the number 2 corner should be getting peppered with targets, bombarded with targets, guys. I said what I said. So I love Brandon Cooks, guys. So let's move on, guys. I got 2 more players as a top 10. And my number 9 guy is Allen Lazard. Now, this is Allen Lazard last 2 games before he got hurt. 18, 7, and 26. Now, guys, you know what Davante Adams is. He's a target machine. So when they try to take Davante Adams, who's the next receiver they trust? MVS? No, he's just a deep threat. Tunyon? No, not Tunyon. He's just a tight end to fill a position. Allen Lazard is pretty good, guys. He's very tall, so he's going to get some jump balls. I love him at the number 2 spot. Sometimes number 2 receivers are the boom players in fantasy. I said what I said, and I gave y'all a nugget right there. So let me move on to my last guy, guys. There go Allen right there, guys. Y'all see him at the screen. So, guys, my last guy for y'all to target is Nyheim Hines. And the reason why, you be like, well, Terry, they got all these running backs there. Last night, you seen what they decided to do, and you seen that it worked. They wasn't a better team to me. If they'd have used Jonathan Taylor and Wilkins, they would have lost this game. But by them using Nyheim Hines and being able to use him in the run game, and they thinking that they're going to pass, it was a great game plan. So I got to give that to Frank Wright. Great game plan. And I love Nyheim Hines going forward, guys. He just, he's a beast. You know, I'm not going to say that he's the best run between the tackles guy, but he can do it with that good offensive line. And then with the pass work that he can get, the good as he is out in space in the pass game, I love going to Nyheim Hines. So, guys, trade for him. It shouldn't take much. Or he's probably on your waivers. So, I'm giving you guys that can be on your waivers or whatever, but these guys are trade targets and buy low guys, not guys that you have to buy high and give a bunch of your star players for. So, guys, I'm not down with that. So, guys, I hope you thumbs up this video and also subscribe to my channel so you can keep getting these cutting-edge videos, guys. Fantasy Good Sports going to the top. Thank you. Have a blessed day.